What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Sane here, and welcome to my very first video on the Diofield Chronicle. For those of you who don't know what this game is, it's an upcoming strategy RPG by Square Enix that's supposed to be coming out on September 22nd. What you see right now is the demo, which released about a few days ago on Steam, and also consoles such as Xbox, PS4, PS5, and Switch, so you guys can go ahead and go on and download that if you guys want to try out the demo, and any progress that you make on the demo will carry over to the full game if you decide to buy the full game when it comes out on September 22nd. If you guys are fans of strategy RPGs such as Final Fantasy Tactics, Disgaea, Makai Kingdom, Phantom Brave, all of those games, even Final Fantasy War of the Visions, which is a mobile game, then you're definitely going to want to check this game out because so far from what I've played, I absolutely have enjoyed it, and I myself am going to be buying the full version, and I'm going to be porting over my progress from this demo over to that full version. Now, a full disclosure that I do want to point out is that this game is not a mobile game. So for those of you that are wondering, oh, 40, is this a gacha game? What is there gacha mechanics? There isn't. This is an actual console game, and again, available on PC, Steam, or the consoles that I mentioned prior, on this video. Okay, so what I want to do for this video is just kind of show you guys a little bit of the gameplay. I'll show you guys how the exploration works, and then we're going to get into some combat. So we're going to go ahead and load the game here. All right. So as you can see, the exploration, at least for where I am at in the beginning of the game, you're in this base here, and it's pretty much very similar to Fire Emblem Three Houses as far as this exploration goes and how you gain access to your next mission or your sub-quest and things like that. And if you take a look at the characters here, right? So let's go ahead and go take a look at the characters. So the first three characters that you start off with is going to be Andreas. He's kind of like your swordsman, or aka like your lord, which is, a very common starting class in Fire Emblem. And then you're also going to get access to, what's her name? This character right here. Isolar. So she is like your tank, right? So she's going to be in your starting party. And then you'll also have Fredrit. And Fredrit is kind of like your cavalier. He rides a horse. He has the most mobility, all that good stuff. So I'm getting a lot of Fire Emblem vibes when I started this game. And I started with these three characters. And I was like, whoa, this is very Fire Emblem-like. And the story itself, there's a little bit of, political aspect to it. There's three different kingdoms fighting for like this magical source. So it's really reminiscent of Fire Emblem, which I thought was really, really cool. Now, a party can be deployed up to 4. However, you can have another party member acting as like a backup, which then they can actually use their abilities in combat as like a backup. So you can actually use their abilities in combat if you're going to be using them as a backup unit. But you can only deploy up to 4 units at a time. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to do a little bit of exploration here. So as you can see right here, the map is very much, or the aspect of exploration is very much similar to Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is pretty cool. And then what I want to do is I actually want to get into combat for you guys, so you guys get to see the combat, because the combat is pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed it. So this portion right here that I'm accessing, this is going to be practice battles. So you unlock this, I want to say, within the first 3 hours of gameplay. And what you can do is you can repeat missions that you've already done for the current chapter that you're in. So for example, we got Rescue Mission, and the Bandit Menace, Redditch Estate Recon, and the Coswell Expedition. For the purposes of the video, we're actually going to do the ones with the bandits, and it gives you victory conditions right there, such as, defeat Goffren, who's like the boss for this, and then the defeat condition is if your allies are all defeated. Now, there's also rewards, which you can attain depending on if you're able to beat or meet certain conditions during battle. So if you complete the end of the Bandit Menace, if you allow none of your allies to get KO'd in battle, if you complete the mission within 4 minutes, so you do have a timer that's ticking while you're in the mission, and sometimes one of the achievements is you want to beat it under that time frame, and then if you grab the treasure chest, which is present on the map. So we're going to go ahead and get into some combat here. Do I want to deploy? Yes. You guys get to see the cool combat that is involved in this. All right, and as you could see, it looks gorgeous. I love the graphics so far. In terms of the combat, I think it looks really, really nice. And I'm playing this on Steam.
Understand why the bandits have started attacking the cliff folk, to be honest.
And as you can see, there's voice acting. Now, I've already seen this part of the story, so maybe I'm going to go ahead and skip this, because I've already seen this part of the story, and I know you guys want to see the combat, but there is fully voice acted. You can change it from either the English dub or Japanese, whatever you want.
Your famous archery skills are very well. And please.
All right, we're going to go ahead and skip through this. All right, let's go ahead and start the mission. And we're gonna go ahead and go with with the similar lineup that I've been doing here.
Bridge over there.
It's been raised.
All right.
This is
Exactly.
So usually on a map, it looks like this, right? And then there's like these different objectives that you have. For example, they mentioned like, you know, taking control of the drawbridge, which is right over here. We have to take control of this particular building right over here. And then if we explore a little bit on the map, there's these barricades that you do have to break through at times to get through the next point. There's these little orbs that drop, and depending on the color, they'll have different effects. If it's a white orb, it's usually like gold. Purple usually restores your SP, which is what you need to use your special skills. And then if anytime a green orb drops, like for example this one, that's used to heal your HP. This is where you have your treasure chest. Usually there's like at least one per map from what I've played so far, but they're usually here, and I've already opened this one because I've already done this mission. And then if you look at the top right hand corner, you'll see that, you know, you have your time, and then you also have the speed. So you can set the speed of the combat if you want it to move faster, if you want it to move slower. For the purposes of the video, I'm going to try to keep it at normal speed so you guys get to see some of the cool animations for this game. So let's go ahead and get into some combat here. So movement in this game is very similar to, I would say, Phantom Brave or Makai Kingdom. So this is not a grid-based system, although it kind of looks like it. What you do is you click on the unit, you move them to where you want to, and if they're within attack range of an enemy, they're going to automatically attack. Now, if they come within this circle range, which shows you the attack range, or essentially like, you know, the range of when an enemy sees you, that enemy will come to you, and they're going to start attacking you too. So the way combat works in this game, and it's kind of cool. So unlike other strategy RPGs that I've played, your units will actually start, like for their normal attacks, they're going to start attacking in real time. And you're going to see this right here. Oh, as I've assigned some of these units here. I'm going to have Fred right here go to the drawbridge controls.
I understand.
And as you can see right here, units are acting on their own. It is in real time. Now, in the midst of real-time combat, you can always click on a unit. You could use your left bumper or right bumper to switch which unit you want to give a specific command to. And this is how you're going to be utilizing your unit's skills. So for example, actually, no, wait. No, let me re-explain that. So you have to press Y, at least for the control that I'm using. And what you do is you cycle through who you want to assign a command to. So for example, I want Andreas to use his assassination skill. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So essentially the real-time freezes, and it allows you to select commands. Okay. And then right over here, I'm going to go ahead and do the same with, Iscarian here. We're going to go ahead and use Rain of Arrows, just so you guys have a visual of how that looks like. And then with Waltequin, let's go ahead and use Meteor Fall. And I'm going to use it right here because this does put like a volcanic effect on the ground. And if you or if the enemy units or your units stand on it, you actually take residual damage. So you don't want your units to take that, but we'll actually have the enemy take it. There we go. All right. So that unit is down. And then we went ahead and secured the drawbridge, and we're going to go ahead and activate that. Okay, and then something that you can also do, so let's say you want to move all of your units at the same time, right? You could click the left trigger button, and what you do is, let's say I want all of my units to move to this unit. So they're all going to move together, and then since it's real-time combat, the units will take, you know, action immediately depending on their attack range. So my range attackers, such as Waltequid, which is my, she's like a sorceress, and then we have Iscarian, who is my archer. They're going to start attacking, and as you can see, we drew the attention of the other enemy units. Now, if I want to change targets, I could always, for example, click Frederick and have him go over here and attack this unit. And then I can hit Y, and I could use a special skill right here, which is Full Frontal Assault. And then something to note, too, is that if you're attacking an enemy from behind, you automatically get that ambush, which is additional damage because you are attacking them from behind, which is something that we've seen before in a lot of strategy RPGs. If you're positioned behind the enemy, you attack them from behind, your accuracy is a lot higher, and you're dealing them a lot more damage. Let's go ahead and check out the orb effects here. So I'm going to move Andreas here. As you can see, we got some TP fragments. If we move Frederick right over here to the orbs, we restored some HP. And then we're going to go ahead and move Andreas right over here. So you could see you're going to restore some SP to your allies. And then I'm going to have Iscarian and my range units move here and just start attacking this guy from a range. All right, we recovered some of our SP, and now I'm going to go ahead and assign Frederick here to go to the barricade. I will also have Andreas go to the barricade right over here. Okay, and we're gonna wait and see who finishes first here. So I really like this real-time combat aspect, you know. It's not like your traditional strategy RPG games that you might be used to where, you take an action and then they just stand there. They're actually doing something when they arrive, on the enemy's position. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is utilize that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna start attacking, and I want you guys to pay attention to the bottom right-hand corner. You see that little circle? That little circle does something really special, which I am going to showcase on the next wave of enemies. You guys got to see this. This is probably my favorite part of this of the game that I've experienced so far. So every time you deal damage, you build up the circle, and when you build up that little circle down at the bottom right, you get one of the small orbs to flash. And that allows you to summon something really cool. And like I said, I'm going to showcase it when we get to the next wave of enemies. So with Iscariot, I'm going to use Fantail Formation here just to finish these guys off quickly. All right, enemy is down, and it looks like right over here we're going to need to capture this. We're going to go ahead and capture this drawbridge as well. I'm going to have Iscariot move and get that orb. And I'm going to have Waltaquin collect these orbs right over here.
Capture successful.
All right. And I will show you guys something really cool now. I got to make sure that we have all enemies in line so I can show you guys just how cool this is. You guys are going to be blown away by this because I loved it when I saw this. All right. So there's the boss.
We'll be done with these scout.
All right, let's go ahead and just wait to get that. All right, we got that. All right, here we go. So I'm going to send my tankiest unit out, which is going to be Frederick. I'm going to draw the attention of the boss. And you guys have to see this. You guys have to see this. This is so cool.
On my way.
All right. So when you have one of the orbs glowing at the bottom right, look what you could do. So the Magilumic Orb allows you to summon freaking Bahamut. They give you Bahamut at the beginning of the game. Now look at this animation. It's really fast, but I love this. Look at this. Freaking Bahamut comes out of the sky and just nukes the enemies. Just look at that. That is so cool. I can't wait to see what other summons they have available. And then something you could do here, which they mentioned this, they actually mentioned this in the beginning of the game, is that if you see an enemy charging up their skill, you can actually use another one of your unit skills to interrupt them. So for example, Isolar has Shield Bash, which deals damage and stuns them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So it gives you a ways to use your unit skills to interrupt enemies when you see that little red that red target that they produce, because they're about to charge up their skill. They're about to attack you with something more powerful than a normal attack. So it's up to you to interrupt them so you don't take the unnecessary, high damage. All right, so that is going to be some of the combat and just the overall gameplay that this game has to offer. And again, this game is officially going to be launched on PC and consoles September 22nd. If you guys decide to play the demo, any progress you make will carry over. I highly recommend you guys check it out, especially if you're a fan of strategy RPGs, because I think it's worth the playthrough, and I'm definitely going to be playing this on my Twitch streams and probably on my spare time, just, away from streams, because it's actually a really, really fun game, and I'm looking forward to its full release. Hopefully this video helps you guys, get hyped and interested at least in checking out the Diofield Chronicle. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video and stay blessed.